It's Toya, Kanban, or Toyota, depending which time zone you are in. We're doing more Ace Attorney again, yay! Well, great Ace Attorney again, yay! Yeah, last time, Kazuma was being a sassy little, I mean, he was being super sassy, you know, such a sassing us. Anyways, oh, hey, Ari, hello, let me give you a little shout out. Yeah. So, yeah, and we managed to prove that, at the very least, Von Zeke's recollection of the events was accurate, or at the very least, it's feasible. Even though, like, Kazuma was just like, "Oh, it's just conjecture." Ryunosuke, I said you could be a great defense lawyer, but it's still conjecture. Anyways, so we are now gonna be, I was gonna say interviewing, but like cross-examining the two redheaded guys that was arrested by Gina. So what's gonna happen? Let's carry on. Back in the antechamber, 2nd November, 12:33 p.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. Oh, there you are, Odo. What kept you, my dear fellow? Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Gina? You sure about what you said in there? That the boss, you know, actually died the day before? It's pretty hard to swallow. Yes. I was shocked by the revelation too, Gina. I mean, it only makes sense considering the fact that he does wind it religiously every single day. And the fact that it stopped at 5 the day before, right, means that he couldn't wind it the day prior. As was I, possibly more shocked than both of you. It's not a competition, Mr. Sholmes, but I was more shocked than all of you put together. Ryunosuke, please. This is the autopsy report in question, is it? Yes. It's strange that there's no time of death noted. I suppose there's a simple explanation. Or perhaps it was a deliberate omission. Oh dear. If it was deliberate, it puts me in the mind of the last case we worked on. And Dr. Seth. I know. Anyway, it seems that on the day before Lord Von Zieks discovered his body, Gregson was killed. Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League. So perhaps something happened with them. Maybe, like, you know, they're both red-headed and red-handed. Yes. Come to think of it. You had trouble with those Leaguemen too, didn't you, Mr. Sholmes? You were taken in by their trick. No. Naturally, I wasn't taken in as you put it. My sleuth hound's interest was merely piqued slightly by the rare scent of a weekly £4 income. So you were taken in by them, by the cash reward, eh? And that scent masked the underlying scent of deception, I suppose. The two criminals in question are the pair we saw being arrested yesterday, aren't they? In Mr. Sholmes' suite, I mean. That's right, Suze. It was me who took him in. Thanks to a tip-up by a good law-abiding citizen. Indeed. Yours truly. There's going to be that pair in the witness stand next, is it? Something doesn't quite make sense to me, though. The day before Inspector Gregson was found, you hadn't had trouble with the Red-Headed League yet, had you? Why would the inspector have been investigating them? Maybe they were embezzling. I mean, they were either embezzling funds or like they were tricking like red-headed men of a smaller, like out of a small fortune, right? Well, the likely explanation would be that Gregson's own sleuthhound interest was piqued by the rare scent of a weekly £4. I know you don't think that. I know you're saying this. Because you think it's mine. I know you don't think that. Don't tell him with the same brush as you, Shomes. Yes, well... Then there's the whole issue of Inspector Gregson being investigated by Lord Von Zieks for some reason. The Reaper, the Red-Headed League, Inspector Gregson, Lord Von Zieks, and Kazuma. I feel as though he knew we'd arrive at this point somehow. Maybe he was investigating it too. Gosh, I think you're right. What's he really trying to achieve here today? All the answers will soon be revealed. Observe the time, my dear fellow. This recess will be over very shortly. Yes, you're right. Kazuma was determined that he should be the one to prosecute this trial. All will be revealed. The Arcana is the means by which all is revealed. And he was determined that I should take the defense. Just what is it that he's hoping to make me see? I wonder. I get the feeling we're a long way from the end of this trial yet. Are you ready then, Mrs. Sato? Yes. Second November, 1 p.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. Let's go. There he is!
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We'll resume the closed court hearing of Baruch Von Zieks, here present, who stands accused of murder. Now then, Prosecutor Asogi.
My lord.
Have you summoned the witnesses as requested?
Yes. The two members of the Red-Headed League who planned and carried out the deception. They arrived not long ago from the local prison by police carriage.
Very good. Bailiff, usher the two men into the courtroom.
Oh my god. Is he eating spaghetti? Oh wait, they are Italian. I forgot about that. I forgot, you're Italian. These two men are currently being held by the police on suspicion of attempted extortion. You may omit your occupations, but state your names now for the court. Fabian DeRusso? I assume? It's a D, not a D. Okay. I am Fabien de Rousseau. Okay, he's French. But then the other... Because, like, this guy had... Wait, but he's eating it with bell peppers, though. Right? So that's more like Napolitan, like, pasta. Right? Like Japanese... That's more like Japanese pasta, isn't it? A descendant of the great the Rousseau family from Nice in France. And my name is Pep. Oh my fucking god. The Rousseau and the Rossi. I know like Rosso is red in Rosso is red in Italian. But like the oh Oh my god, his fucking name, I can't. I can't. Oh my god. So, are they just both French then? Or like, or is it like Rosso and Rossi? Right? Like, cause like it's Rossi. So like Rosso, which it is Italian. So I guess, okay, it's a Frenchman and an Italian boy, kid. Wait, how old are you? How old are you? Fabian de Russo, the fraudster behind the Red-Headed League swindle. It's caught by Mr. Sholmes. He derives from the French aristocracy, it seems. He sure does, apparently. Peppino de Rossi. I'm the third son of the great Familia de Rossi, the landowners from Napoli. How old are you, kid? Damn, we don't know you yet. It's truly beyond me how both prosecution and defense take the witnesses seriously. I mean, this might just be their first time encountering, like... He's 25?! Wait, he also jumped up with his fist in the air. Like Mario, didn't he? He did the whole wahoo! Anyways. Okay. The two men first became acquainted at a boarding school for European nobility. So why are they swindling people? I mean, I guess this is how the rich say rich, right? Owed money. Eh? Those who graduate from TGAAC are the future leaders of Europe. But do you have any idea how boring it is to be born with noble blood? Hence why you're scamming people? Hello. Hello. Okay. I'm making my mission to get the better of the world by employing the little gray cells of my brain. You mean gray matter? Anyways. That is all I'm trying to do. So that's the only reason for this whole grand deception you've been carrying out, because you're bored. Everything seems to be like something with bored. There's a notice board. Von Zieg's face is bored, according to gossip. These guys are bored, so crime, right? It's like, Rossi, I'm a little bit bored. Wait, no. Russo, I'm a little bit bored. That's right. That is true, the Rossi. I am a little bored. I think we can have a little bit of a crime for a little treat, eh? Good idea. God, my accents are so fucked. Anyways, we're off to a great start. I love this already. You can commit a little crime as a treat when you're bored. For legal reasons, that's a joke. Wink wonk. Oui, you could say that. Not bad, eh? He has the grand ideals, but the petty plans. The string combination is... He's fucking like Mario jumping. Yeah, so for those that, I guess, didn't know, did you know game it? I'm kidding. But yeah, Mario jumps up with his fists. Oh. He's like coin blocking, I swear. This strange combination is at the charm of the hilarious brothers. Hilarious brothers. See, couple. Dots. Listen to me, Peppino. Wait, no, that's more Italian. Fuck it. Listen to me, Peppino. I have two things to say to you. Eh? Che? Are you about to tell me one of your grande anecdotes? Evviva! Firstly, I want you to stop calling me this capo. And secondly, we are not the Hilarious, brothers. This is serious business. Ciambello, there it is! The capo's trumpa card! The photo... Bro... It is deep, capo? The photo, and the meaning of your words. God, I'm gonna get canceled for my accents, I swear to God. It's so fucked.
The court has been led to believe that under the banner of the Red-Headed League, you have conspired to swindle money from unsuspecting members of the public. Is this true?
Oui. C'est ça. I do not know French. I'm trying my best.
And what exactly was the nature of this deception by which you planned to defraud?
Alas, I will explain it. No, capo. Leave it to me. As you see, we both have the vivid red hair, no? At school, we would tease for this without pity. The capo here, he was many times behind the schoolhouse, crying like the Trevi fountain. Wait, those dogs, one day the world will respect us redheads. Every night, he would bury his head in a pillow. C'est bien, Peppino. Enough. I will explain the rest. The first step was a newspaper advertisement. But 1 week before the plan was put into operation, we listed the same notice in every paper in London. Yes, we saw that notice. It was this one, I believe, entitled to the Red-Headed League. Oui, Zika. I'm honored that you have seen it. It states that the only condition for joining the league is having flame-colored hair, and that if you satisfy the interview panel and are admitted into the league, you could receive a weekly income of £4. Excuse me. On the date specified, red-headed hopefuls gathered in droves at the park specified in the advertisement. And from each person present, this pair took an application fee of 5 shillings. And with the money, to France. It was a plan most elegant, no? No, it was most dishonorable. But to be frank, I understand anybody was foolish enough to be taken in by such an obvious trick. The park was described by one witness as choked with red-headed folk, like a coaster's orange barrow. And the day in which all of these men gathered to apply was the day before the victim was discovered. Crucially, these 2 men spoke face to face with every single person present that day, including one Inspector Gregson. I have seen more red-headed people in one day than I will see in the rest of my life. See, and now, every time I see the couples, I feel sick to my stomach. Is that why you keep eating the, spaghetti? Anyway, why have we been summoned here today? You say that as if you're not already, like, in prisons and arrested and stuff. I mean, I guess, you know, you still gotta project your noblesse oblige, but still. Sorry? The date for our trial was not until tomorrow, I was told. Naturally, neither of these men have been told any details about this trial, because it's a closed court. They've only been shown this photograph.
Very good.
I'm trying to do it, like, I feel like I keep changing the judge's, like, voice, but it's also, like, I'm trying to do, like, the old man breathiness, but, like, able to articulate and not just, like,
So, Mr. De Rousseau...
Like, I'm not trying to do it like that, so it's like...
So, Mr. De Rousseau and Mr. De Rossi, you will now give your formal testimony for the court on the subject of the gentleman pictured in this photograph.
Of course. We're always ready to help with the law. Interesting. The man in the photograph. We had more than 1,000 red-headed people assembled in the park on Lime Street that day. But I don't recall the man in the photograph. Hey, couple. No. I don't remember him. Obviously, he's dead now. But I assure you, he was not in the park. Hello, Allora. This victim has nothing to do with us. You have a lot to answer for, Peppino. It is your fault that we got caught in the first place. You've given sworn testimony that this man in the photo was not present. Can you be certain? Oh my gosh, Ashen, hello. Thank you so much for the stretch. And, well, ooh, that was a nice crack. Hang on. And thank you so much for the water ASMR, everyone. Let's grab our little water jugs and do a little glug glug. Care patch, thank you. Thank you. Hang on, let me just go remove my glasses. Oh my gosh. My glasses. Hang on. I hope you're having a good time or a good day so far, Ashen. I appreciate you being here. What? Okay. There we go. Okay, there we go. Wee. Getting an extraction sure to blow off some steam and for delays. Nice. I'm quite certain we did not interview this man. Nobody looking like this came to the bank. This I can promise.
It must be noted that you have been arrested for a grand deception, however. Accordingly, this court has little confidence in your assurances.
Oof. With this attitude, we get to nowhere. He's really sulking now. This confidential document was obtained directly from Scotland Yard. It records an entry from the inspector's private diary dated the day before the incident. It reads, Lime Street, Red-Headed League, undercover. So he should have been there, right? Ah, I have the answer. Maybe there was another similar event in the park on the day in question, eh? That is ridiculous. There's no question that Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League. Which means it's quite possible that's when he was killed.
Very well. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination now.
Ah, yes, my lord. Okay, let's figure this out. The man in the photograph. Okay, we're gonna press on everything to get more information and whatnot. So we did not get. Okay, we didn't get the diary. Interesting. 1,000 people. It's a very big crowd. It was quite the spectacle. Redheads had come from all over the capital. See, a capo here. Here's the magnetismo animal, eh? Like he just okay. Nobody else could attract us so many people. If I could be born again, I would be the capo. All those people wanted was the money, Peppino. The £4 per week.
Are you suggesting that you spoke personally with all 1,000 applicants?
Oui, that we did. Because every one of them paid us 5 shillings. So he had 5. Oh, excuse me. So he had 5,000 shillings? We take out their names and we take out their money. We take out their addresses as well. Then I tell them we take some days to let them know by a post. Finito. Maybe 2 minutes a person. We start early in the morning and we stop late in the night. So, you earned 5,000 shillings in one day. That's a small fortune. Who'd have thought there were 1,000 such gullible redheads in London to start with? One of whom was a great detective with chemically altered hair. I know, right? Hold it! He doesn't look at all familiar. No, I don't think so. And this is a wig, eh? Who was trying to trick us? I don't like the people who are trying to trick the other party. The other people. But weren't you also trying to trick the other people? The hypocrite? Like, that's exactly what you were doing. Says the con artist. Between them, they interviewed 1,000 people with red hair. It would be unreasonable to expect them to remember every face. True? No, senor. I may be small, but my memory is very large. I never forget a thing. In my opinion, I do not think this man was in the park. But he's not going to give the courtroom order definite, it seems. Hey, Capo. You didn't see a man like this, huh? Hold it! But according to what you said, you spoke with 1,000 or more people that day. Oui, that's true. My eyes are burning by the end of the day. Surely then, you can't actually remember every single face. Are you so certain that this particular man wasn't present? Normally, the red hair is very distinctive, eh? wrong when you have 1,000 redheads crowding around, then it is just an eyesore. But if there was some other information you could give us, maybe then we would recall. That is not the line, Pepino. He's been coached on this, so they're lying to us, definitely. Remember, we do not remember him. We are sure of that fact, huh? If there was a man with a red hairpiece, but its mustache did not match the color, then I do not think I could have forgotten him. Kazuma said these two had only been shown that photograph, and they've been told nothing else at all. But what if I fed them just one other detail about the victim, for example? His fish and chips. Because he definitely would have been eating them. Not his name, not his profession, his fish and chips. I can certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember in this situation. But what if I told you that a man was always munching on a packet of fish and chips? Do you remember a man who was eating incessantly? Not really. I was looking only at the heads of the applicants. I wouldn't have noted the fish and chips any more than the caviar and smoked salmon. Oh, spaghetti! Me? I love the spaghetti. Really? I had no idea. Tell them again what you said before, Pepino. Si, capo, si. I say it again and again. Hang on. Hold it. But we only have your word for that. See, what else can we do, huh? True. Oof. We're not having much of fun these days. But we are arrested, and we're shown the horrible picture of a dead man. And now you question every single thing we do. We are the victims here. No, you're the scammers. Hey, capo. No. You were caught carrying out a plot to swindle hundreds of innocent people. You had to bring that up, eh? It's not fair. Hey, capo. I see. Interesting. You know what? Let's figure this one out. What do you mean by that? Avalo, you promised not to say, eh, capo? After we had taken all the money that day, we should have left the country. That was my plan. I left the purchasing of the tickets for the ferry to Dunkirk. To my companion here. But he bought them for the wrong day. Oops. See, but that is an easy mistake to make, yeah? The fares, the 31st. Wait, so you bought it for like next week? I have no sympathy for you. We were an all day late for the boat because of your stupidity. And then it's only because of this that the so-called great red-headed detective caught us. Capo, you know what I think? This is the work of God. It is a holy punishment, eh? Bro, what? Pepino, for the last time. This is not holy punishment. This is only your fault. Ah! Don't blame God for your unholy mistakes. You are making me sick with anger. Maybe I make a mistake, but when it's time to eat the pasta, no one is a fast. Oh my god. And I've seen the evidence. They haven't told us much we didn't already know. What do you think, Mr. Naruto? We either have to like reveal that his name or his occupation. I feel like his occupation. Oh god. Well, if it was in the inspector's diary, it seems likely that he must have gone to Lime Street that day. And yet, these two both claim they didn't see him. Two near deaths. I see. I have to say, they don't appear to be telling lies. Well, they are experts in deception, don't forget. Sounding plausible is your speciality. They may be lying simply to avoid being implicated in this case as well. Surely if they were truly experts in deception, they wouldn't have been caught. Well, yes, you do have a point there. It seems to me like we need more information. Definitely. I feel like we shouldn't reveal his name, we can reveal his occupation. Let's try this. His profession. I can certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember in the situation. What if I told you that the man in the red hairpiece was actually a detective? The man is a photograph. A detective. Yes. It would appear he found your notice in the paper suspicious and decided to investigate incognito. Dot. Sorry, but this changes nothing. There we go!
Excuse me.
Something to add, Mr. De Rossi. See, I'm always adding something. Parmesan, olive oil, pepper. What I mean is, do you not agree with your friend's last remark by any chance? Eh? What did he just say about the detective? Yes, that. Keep your mouth shut, Peppino. We have said enough already. But why, couple? What is the problem? There was a man who said, I'm an inspector from Scotland Yard. What?
Good lord.
Oh god. He's on a box too.
Order! 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 Explain this about face in your testimony, witness.
It's simple. A man who was at the box said, there was no such man. You're lying to me. Mandai, what are you saying, couple? Have you forgotten, eh? I've forgotten nothing. Nobody likes this games as a buck. Basta, couple, basta. You beat me at the many things, but not two. The memory and the meals. Like I said, in time to eat up a pasta, no one is a pasta. But you are inferior to me in every other way, so shut up!
Objection.
Dots. Let's go! The dual slams. The done. The damage is done.
Indeed it is, sir.
The double slam, they're just like, enough! Bam! They didn't even need to say anything. There was a man who came to the park, and he said he was an inspector of Scotland Yard. However, he looked nothing like the man in the photograph. It was someone else. How can you be so sure? Because the surface, his face was completely different. See, it's true. The man who came was a younger. His face was clean shaven. His eyes were sadder. His chin was thinner. Oh, but how do you know if it was legit though?
No resemblance whatsoever then.
Anyway, I was not going to be fooled. I took the obvious precaution and said to him, If you are really a detective, show us the proof. See, the capo here. He doesn't take a no nonsense, eh? But he was well prepared. He said he had identification. Identification? You mean official police inspector's identification?
That is most unconvincing.
Sorry, my lord.
Counsel, no incognito. Inspector would offer his identification for inspection. It's quite out of the question.
Definitely. Why would he expose his true identity? Clearly, the papers were fake. Sato Capo, you're a genius. As we say in Atelia, it takes a thief to recognize another, eh? And what happened after he announced that he was a detective? He became very annoying. He said, "You are under investigation." So I took his papers from him and chased him out of the park. It was fantastical. And look, here's the identification. Okay, can you give it to me? Submit it to evidence? So you stole it from the man. He had it coming. He made us very scared. And he was not who he said he was.
Indeed, the person described does not appear to have behaved as a true inspector would. However, I believe it will be prudent for these identification papers to be entered into evidence.
But I like them. Inspector's identification has been entered into the court record. Let's go.
Now, let us return to the witness's testimony.
Okay, let's take a look. Well, I suppose we should see what this inspector's identification looks like inside. Mocha, oh my gosh, thank you so much for the lyric. Let me give you a little shouty shout out. Thank you, really appreciate it. Okay, let's take a look. Yes, it definitely looks fake, doesn't it? Out of interest, what name is given? Probably just something plucked out of the air. It's Tobias Gregson. Wait, what? The skull in your insignia looks genuine to me. But how? Okay, like, hang on. I was running my little crackpot theory in that, like, what was it? That, when, like, gossip potentially is Daily Vigil, right? He just so happens to work adjacent to where the apartment is. And the apartment has his wife's photo for whatever reason, right? So, and we know that, we're assuming that Gregson was the one carrying out his personal investigations and files from that apartment, and it's not Von Zieks' secret apartment. So there's a very high possibility that Gregson and Vigil were working together, right? So if Vigil seems to be like a master of disguise, all he needs is a red, like, wig, and he's already clean shaven, right? So that could be it, right? That could be the answer. And the department and identification number details are all correct as well. Since when have you known those? Do you mean to say... I know it seems incredible, but yes, I think this is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard. But that's unbelievable. This is the real thing after all. Let's go. Let's go. Dun, dun, dun. Then I'm sure it was not in the park. But then, okay, so like here's the thing, right? Nothing to do with you, but like, it's either like 3 or 4, because like here it's like, but sure he was not in the park. Although this victim is nothing to do with us, but he was not in the park. Okay, this one it's a bit more clearer here because like objection, he was at the park. He objection. There we go. Yeah. I'm trying to find like the more clearer, like more direct contradictions. Okay. I wonder if I could ask you to examine this identification book very closely. Miss Lestrade. Why Miss Lestrade?
What is your intention here, Counsel?
Is this really a fake, or is it genuine? That's the question, which you can't answer ourselves.
Objection!
Don't be ridiculous. No Scotland Yard detective would allow his or her identification to be stolen. But let's be sure. Hold it. That is the boss's. No question about it. Can't be. As I suspected. The undercover detective who attended a Red-Headed League's enrollment on the day in question was the real Inspector Gregson, carrying out an incognito investigation. Let's go.
Zolo!
Oh my god, he really fell the fuck over. Alright.
Order!
But if the boss had its identification stolen, he would have reported it straight away. So it wasn't stolen. It was used purposefully. I mean, he was always on at me about it. If you lose someone, report it at once, he'd say. Could it be then that the inspector was physically unable to report it, or he was dead? Physically, what are you saying? Unable to. You're not suggesting. Yes, it's quite possible that he was killed before he had the chance to report his identification stolen. I guess we're going with that. All right. No.
Order!
The defense posits that the victim was killed the day before his body was discovered at a different location. Do you two have anything to say about that?
Where? I know nothing. Where? I done nothing. Where?
I mean, you were swindling people, dude.
Pull yourself together, Pepino. Mon Dieu. You can behave a little more like a master criminal than that, no? Where? I wish I had returned to Italia. Stop crying, Pepino.
Please. Otherwise, oh my god. Oh my god, Rousseau.
Lim.
Where? Stop your whining and stop talking.
Well, I believe the court will need to hear you. I know nothing. Where? I done nothing. Where?
But you will tell everything, or face the worst possible outcome.
You will dry your tears and testify again about these identification papers and the precise circumstances under which you came by them.
Where? We're crying out We're crying out loud. Nice. The detective and the identification. What the oh shit, okay.
The truth is, we took him prisoner and kept him for the night at our secret hideout. Even though I didn't think he was a real detective, I was too scared to let him go that day, just in case. We took the man's identification from him and shut him in the room next to ours. There might have been a little tussle, but we did him no harm, and the next morning we let him go.
Wait, a little tussle? A little tussle, eh? A little tussle, eh? Is that why Gossip Snack has a bruise? Eh? A little tussle, eh? Wait. His ascot's yellow, or whatever this thing is called. His bandana was yellow as well, right? The little thing. These two are the same, aren't they? Your daily vigil, you son of a bitch. I know it. I know it's you. Why else would your wife be there? Unless you're telling me Gregson and Evie had something going on, right? Unless you're telling me there's a like Gregson was undercovering a different sort of affair, which means you were working with Gregson, right? No, that means you were cheating on your wife with Gregson. Wait, no, sorry, no, that too far, too bad. Back up, no. You were working with Gregson, like, you were. He used you like to investigate stuff. Yeah.
He spent the night in a nice room. It was nothing like prison, really. Yeah.
This is outrageous.
This is outrageous. You imprisoned the man.
Wait, and think about it. The day that they did that, Evie came in, right? Saying that her husband who has gone missing for a day, right? The exact same day, whoever was impersonating Inspector Gregson, who I believe to be Gossip, who I believe to be Daily Vigil, was trapped by these two, like, redheaded morons. I think I'm cooking. Anyways. Hang on. Let me do this properly.
This is outrageous. You imprisoned the man.
But no, no.
It was not like a prison. He was very comfortable and calm and happy. Ay, capo.
Dots.
It was never part of my plan. I swear it. So you think it was my fault, eh? Just because I got the date of the ferry wrong. I went a little a day. I do not think it was your fault, Peppino. I know it. No. Per favor.
Oh my god, like, per favor is like, it's por favor.
Per favor, couple. It's not fair. You sure have plenty of time for scolding back at the present, gentlemen. I don't believe this. How could he have been a real detective? Counsel for the defense. Proceed with the cross-examination.
So on the day before the incident, Gregson spent the night confined in his pair's hideout. Let's do it. The detective and the identification.
Hold it!
Do you realize what you're saying?
You have to believe me. I never intended for that to happen. And I'm sure the detective did not intend it either.
Do you think?
But there was nothing else I could do.
What do you mean?
See, nothing else. This was the first crime for the couple.
was at the end of his wits. I've told you before, Peppino, that is not a way to describe a criminal mastermind. What about this hideout of yours? An old empty house behind the park on Lime Street. An old empty house? We rented the place for 2 days. It was an inspired idea by the couple here.
An impulsive idea, I would say.
No, not impulsive. Inspired. Hey, couple. What am I supposed to say to that, Peppino? And it was in the house described that you'd come find Inspector Gregson, wasn't?
Yeah.
Oui. But you have to remember, I was under the impression that he was a pretender, not a real inspector. That doesn't quite add up though. If you didn't think the man was a real inspector, there would have been no reason to take him prisoner, would there? No, you're right. But we couldn't have been completely certain. Okay.
Hold it!
She's scared. Why? Because why'd he come to the park? We didn't know. Double S. Hey. Congrats, Ashen. There was a chance that he had seen through my plan. And if that was the case, he would go straight to the police to blow at the whistle on us. Even if it wasn't just a feigning to be an inspector. It was up to no good, huh? Without the Delta. I think most people would agree that it's you two who are up to no good. Well, see, you may be right. Hey, couple. The point is, we were not able to escape from England immediately. That is why we had no choice but to take the man prisoner. What I don't understand is why the inspector felt the need to show you his identification in the first place. See, I asked myself the same question. We were writing down the names and addresses of all the people who we took 5 shillings from that day. I've forgotten what name he said, but the address, it startled me. Was it, Fresno Street? See, address, Scotland Yard, Homicide Division, he said. Fuck? Okay, interesting. What? He probably didn't like your face, Peppino. Anyway, I was not rude. I just politely asked him why he had said it. And that's when he started to say he was an inspector. Not long afterwards, he took out his identification. What was Inspector Gregson playing at? Tell Kurt what happened next. You took him back to your hideout, you say. See, we did.
Hold it!
That being this identification book here, correct? See, that is the one.
What made you believe that it was a forgery?
I never seen a real one, of course, but it was so suspicious this a man. Allora, I was thinking, it must be a falso. Hey, capo. Oui, it is just as Peppino said. That's it. We were convinced it was not genuine. And so together, the hilarious brothers, we had took the man captive. Well, all we did was shove him inside a locked room. Then we made preparations to transport all of the money. In for a penny, in for a pound. God. A little toss-up, but we didn't... This is the one that I need to press because I know that that's why like Gossip got it. What do you mean by a little tussle exactly? Oh, it was nothing, just a minor incident. The falso inspector. It was a real piece of the work, eh, capo? What happened? Oof, it was a disaster. We give him a nice room, and what does he do, huh? In the middle of the night, tries to escape through the ventilator. He tried to escape through the vents? Can you blame him? We chased him, Binso, and we caught him again. Can you blame us? Dot. But did you injure him? Wait, you didn't. Shoot the man in your haste, did you? What do you think we are? Of course not. I simply cut over him again and took him back to their room.
Excuse me.
I need, hang on. Mr. De Rossi, is something wrong? Eh? Me? Just like with Sandwich, you're gonna give us all the answers, De Rossi. Tell us. Something Mr. De Russo just said seemed to make you, well, it seemed to make you act even more strangely than usual. What was that all about? Come along. At times like that, you don't want to have the couple after you, believe me. And I speak from personal esperienza. Personal experience. That is enough, Peppino. There's no need to say more. The truth is, the night before I put the red-headed leak plan into action, I was scared. It was not fair to the couple, but I tried to run away. It's a shame you didn't manage it. But the couple here, he came after me like the turbine now. And he dragged me back to the courthouse, kicking and screaming. I still have the proof to prove it. Hey, cop, show us the bruise. Show us the bruise.
Bruises, you say?
You want to see, huh? You want to see my, fantastic bruises? That's enough now, Peppino. No one wants to look at any part of you. What to do, huh? I assure you or I don't. I assure you or I don't. You do! Now, strip! Cosmo really said, strip! Now! Show it to us! Hello. If everybody wants to see, then I do it. Echo, you see? It's still very visible, eh? That red ring around your neck. You got that when you were dragged back to the house. See, the couple, sometimes he's very loud. I said that's enough. Peppino's neck is nothing to do with what we are talking about here. You have my word. It does. Objection.
Yes. What is your opinion, counsel?
About this red ring around Mr. De Rossi's neck. I wonder. Doesn't matter. It's important because of fucking gossip. Mr. De Rossi, I'm gonna have to ask you to amend your testimony with details about that mark on your neck. Hey, couple, you see? Everybody is interested in what I say, huh?
Very well. You will amend your testimony as requested, Mr. De Rossi.
Easy. If you really want to know. Hang on. We can't clearly see if he does have a red mark around his neck, but the fact is that there isn't anything here. I'm gonna press on this just for more information. Or are you saying that red mark was caused by Cece, a big collar made from the leather? A leather collar. Is this true, Mr. De Russo? What? We had one at Saint Bernard at home when I was younger. It is a souvenir from that time, with a very strong chain. Strong chain, and you put that around your friend's neck. I'm sorry. I was so angry that he was leaving me alone. You did not have to tie the chain to the leg of the bed, Dato, huh? I would not have tried to run again. You didn't do that to Inspector Gregson as well, did you? Treated the people equal, huh? Is the couple's here's motto, eh? It's starting to sound a lot more like a prison It's starting to sound more like a prison all of a sudden. The couple is a tough, but the couple is a rough. I shouldn't have done it. So, the following morning, when you released the inspector, he had a red ring around his neck, just like a me. Pepino. S'il vous plaît. Leave it now. Now you know, huh? The couple here. You don't know what I'm tango for, eh? But for the inspector, it's not so bad. Wait, Ashton, thank you so much for the water ASMR. Everyone, let's grab our little water jugs and do a little glug glug. And thank you so much for the stretch. Ooh. Okay, I'm trying to, I almost want more information, but also like, I don't think it's the autopsy report, right? I don't think it's the autopsy report. I think it has to be the photograph, right? Because you don't see a red mark here, but you also can't see it clearly. So then we have to prove that like it was his ID that was used, but it was not him there. Okay, before I do that, I'm gonna take a very quick break. I'll be right back, so please enjoy the music. I'll be right back, give me a second. I'm back, okay. I'm gonna press on this and then I'm gonna figure it out whether or not it's like the photo or like the autopsy report. You took away the man's freedom. However comfortable you make it sound, you were still holding him prisoner. If you say that, then I say this. That's something that takes away all freedom too. The lack of money. So with the prisoners as well, huh? All of us. But you're from the nobility, aren't you? Huh? No money, no freedom. This is the truth. It don't makes me mad. It don't makes me sad. What can we do? Well... If you feel so disenfranchised, take money to court. It'll cost you, of course. There you have it. You see? That's why we need the red-headed maid. Fight for the justice. No, you're not. You're trying to line your own fucking pockets. Perhaps he has a point. Ryunosuke, no! No, Mr. Naruhodo. All we did was to give the man a comfortable place to sleep for the night. And you say it was a prison, huh? Huh? Bro, he was chained up. Perhaps he has a point again. No again, Mr. Naruhodo. You should have heard them snoring. Might die. If it wasn't stuff, it was dust. Not much to go on, really. Your testimony does make me wonder, you know. About this pocket watch belonging to the inspector, I mean. Yes. The one he treasured so much, apparently. If it was confined but not restrained, as the witnesses are implying, that means that he would have been able to wind it, right? He would still have been able to wind his watch. That's very true, yes. So did Inspector Gregson actually died while he was being held captive by these redheads? In which case, it's impossible that these two young men are responsible for Inspector Gregson's. It was Sasato's turn with the brain cell that day. Exactly. It's usually Sasato's turn, Juma. To be honest, I find that hard to believe. Perhaps you try to find out exactly what happened. Very wise, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes. Cause it's tightly curled up is the thing. You know? So it has to be the autopsy report, because like there's no like additional observations. You know? Cause of death was this. There's nothing regarding like, you know?
Objection!
Fucking hell. You just let Serena take a blow. Now, most of the time they actually share it back and forth. This moment was a hiccup. I'm sorry, counsel, but I fail to see why. Because fucking okay. I guess the judge is a fucking visual learner. I guess the judge is a visual fucking learner. All right. Damn it. I mean, it has to be this, right? I thought it was this because it didn't mention any, like, red marks. The odds of would hear said no other injuries are similar. Thanks. Thanks, Astro. But yeah, also, I would appreciate if I can just figure it out myself.
Objection!
There we go. Because they're all visual learners. Okay, so the day before his body was discovered, Inspector Gregson was taken prisoner while working incognito. Cause I know it has to be gossip or daily, you know? It has to be him.
No. It was not like that. It was hardly a prison. It was an invitation to stay. It was only.
However you describe it, there's one glaring inconsistency that remains.
What inconsistency is this, Council?
I would ask the court to look closely at this photograph of the victim, Inspector Gregson. You will see that there is no red ring visible around his neck.
But that makes no sense. It was me who took the collar off the man in the morning. And I saw the red bruises on his neck, just like I have.
Given that a mark is so clearly visible on this witness's neck, we expect to see bruising on the victim, who was put in the collar more recently than Mr. De Rossi.
Indeed, that is most particular. But what do we tell you, huh? Huh? We say this from the beginning, many times.
Then he's not, but we know who it is. We know exactly who the person is, like, that was chained up.
Pepino is right.
The man is a photograph.
It is someone different to the man we kept that night. Order!
It would appear then that on the day before the incident, the man who visited the park on Lime Street posing as an incognito inspector was not Inspector Gregson at all.
Objection.
If that's true, however, how do you explain the inspector's identifications? This is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard. Exactly. So, I mean, we're thinking too deep, but like if we're thinking that like, oh, this person, like I know like he didn't kill Gregson and then took the identification book, but that's the line of logic at this point in the game. It's inconceivable that someone could have stolen such an important item from the inspector. Prosecution made that assertion itself. And we also know that the inspector had made a note about the Red-Headed League in his diary for that day, which surely means we can't divorce the two events completely.
The inconsistency noted by the defense is most troubling. If it were the real Inspector Gregson whom these two red-headed gentlemen encountered, the fact that no bruising can be seen around his neck defies explanation.
But equally, if they actually encountered an imposter, how did that person come to be in possession of the real inspector's identification? Let's ask him ourselves.
Does the defense have some plausible explanation, counsel?
The whole thing defies explanation. It is for precisely these occasions that we keep meticulous notes in the court record, Mr. Naruhodo. Because those are the facts, and the facts cannot lie. Exactly. No, the facts can't lie. Even if they point to something so incredible, it's almost unbelievable. Like, they were definitely working together. Well, my lord, the true identity of the person who turned up in the park for the Red-Headed League's enrollment is revealed by information in the court record, I believe.
What?
Very tantalizing, Mr. Naruhodo. So why don't you help us all see whatever truth it is that you've apparently seen? Who exactly was this inspector that appeared before Mr. DeRusso and Mr. De Rossi, an imposter? Though it seems incredible, I admit, the undeniable facts point to only one thing. Since no bruising can be seen on the victim's neck, the person who these two red-headed men took prisoner that day cannot have been Inspector Gregson. In other words, your whole argument up to now has been a waste of time. It has not.
Objection.
On the contrary, I haven't finished. What? There's no bruising on the victim's neck, so the question immediately posed next is, who exactly was this man in the park on Lime Street found to be carrying Miss Inspector Gregson's identification? See, that's alright. We tell the same story every time. Whoever this man was, the couple dragged him from a pillar to a post with the dog collar. Mon Dio, Pepino. I was not so harsh as you say, huh? So was that the falso inspector, eh? Who was he? Clearly, the defense has an idea about that. About the true identity of the man these two imprisoned that night.
I must ask for the counsel for the defense elaborate post haste. Who did the witnesses encounter in the park posing as Inspector Gregson?
It's gossip. Take that!
Goodness me, is that?
One of the witnesses who was in the stand in this very courtroom earlier today. A nameless man whose only occupation appears to be peddling heresy to passerbys.
Objection.
What on earth would a street seller be doing with a police inspector's identification papers? That's exactly what we're trying to figure out, Cosma. Witnesses, is this the man or not?
What has happened to his lip?
See, this man is not for the red-headed league, eh? He's looking for the twisted lip league, eh? No? Perhaps rather than making such a rash claim next time, you should bite your lip instead. It seems improbable, yes, but one undeniable fact remains. During his testimony earlier, I noticed something around the man's neck. A red ring of bruising. What? The defense demands that Mr. Gossip be brought back to the stand. So what is it, Mr. Gossip? Were you chained up that night, or are you just a freak?
Order, bailiff! Bring the aforementioned witness back to the courtroom. Immediately!
There it is. And look at that, it's distinctly redder compared to Pepino's.
Well, I never. An undeniable ring of bruising indeed. And identical to that of the witness beside him.
What's going on here, eh? I've always had this on me. It's a birthmark, isn't it? A birthmark, you say? So you wouldn't mind if I touched it, huh? I assume the reason you've been recalled to the stand has been explained to you. Aye, someone about an inspector again. But I'm telling you, you've got it all wrong as usual. You're denying all knowledge of it. Of course I am. Are you trying to kill me with all this nonsense, eh? Well, at least you'll have more stories to peddle back on Fresno Street, won't you? Now, we're going to need you to testify again. And you, Mr. DeRusso and Mr. DeRossi. I'm sure you'll cooperate, won't you? Do we have any choice? We're in a big trouble, eh, capo? Capo. Oh my god.
That's quite enough dilatory chatter. Proceed with the testimony.
Okay. Inspector and identification revisited. We're definitely gonna be pulling out the picture frame for this, aren't we? Because you are daily vigil. I know you are, you son of a bitch. The man who claimed to be in inspectors that day was definitely not this man. That's right, see? You think we would have forget these grand lips, huh? I never leave Fresno Street, alright? I've no interest in any red-headed league. I'm all alone in the world, me. I've got no kinfolk or nothing. Why do I involve in something like that? So is this where we, like, do this, reveal this? What do you have to say about this, good sir? Just look at me, eh? Does it look like I can carry off in a disguise with a face like this? Your lips are fake, aren't they?
It will certainly appear that we have the wrong man.
What have I been telling you, huh? There's no need for the pointless testimony. Yeah. That's right. I'm just a simple peddler, remember? Fresno Street's all I know. How could I have come by a police inspector's identification book, eh, if you were working for him? Well, yes. That's hard to explain, but...
A brief cross-examination, I think, counsel. Very brief.
Yeah. Is there anyone in this courtroom who thinks I might be onto something? I stand steadfastly at your side as always, Mr. Naruhodo. Dots. I know you're full of shit, Gossip. I know you're full of shit, Daily.
Hold it!
So you say, but how can you be quite so certain? There's no need to hurt your hands on the dismissal. Surely the reason is obvious, no? Because I've never before seen lips like this. Nevertheless, there's a clear red mark around Mr. Gossip's neck. And it looks very much like that left behind on the neck of your colleague by your prize caller. Mon Dieu, with your words, it is like you tried to wring my neck. It does look very much like my neck though, eh? No, this is a birthmark, lad. The biggest lips in London and a nut to die for. Aye, they broke them out when he made me. It was the first time in my life. I feel lucky to have been born with red hair. And I thought being Japanese made you stand out in London. So you maintain that you've never seen this man before. Oh! Sorry, I had a Cosma, like, little Tsum plushie, like, on my chair pillow, and he fell off. I had to go grab him. Oui, take off. I swear to it by the flames of my hair. So fierce pride has outgrown the frustration of your hair now, has it? That's right, T.
Hold it!
Oh yes. I don't imagine I'll forget those lips in a hurry either. That's just what I'm saying. For some reason, it makes me wanna eat, how did Fabian call it, an eclair. You know, I've never seen the hair as black as yours before either. Likewise. I've never seen red hair like yours until I came to Britain. See, maybe it's a national trait, eh? Maybe all the people of this immense country have a grand lips. But he's from London. No, lad, I was born right here on Fresno Street, and I've never left. Oh, fine. That isn't the problem, see. So you definitely didn't go to the park on Lime Street that day, Mr. Gossip. Now, how many times do you want me to say it, eh?
Hold it!
So, you've heard of the Red-Headed League, had you? You don't get a name like Gossip for nothing, eh? It's my business to know what's going off in town. I sold that tasty tidbit to a fair few redheads that came past me. Just between us, I haven't got the sandwich to cough up for it. You did? Well, he does have a very red nose, if that counts. Who knows? The nose knows, I guess. Excuse me. Well, as you can see, my own hair's not got a hint of red in it. And in any case, Fresno Street's my patch. You won't catch me settling off to some other part of town.
So?
No, sir. Not like, oh.
Excuse me!
That's so. Mr. DeRusso. How can I help you? Did Mr. Goss's word just now lead you to remember something relevant, perhaps? Dots. It was the other day, when I was looking for a place in Zepak, a small house or something. To be the headquarters of a red-headed league, yes. I visited an housing agent on Lime Street, and there I saw him. This man was paying money to the agent. What? Mr. Gossip, with a housing agent. He had some kind of contract in his hand, and they were clearly discussing terms. But no, you're mistaken, chum. I've never left Crescent Street, mate. Like I said before, you've mistaken me for someone else. Some of the same face. No, the capo is right. I remembered it too. It was paying a man with the banknotes. With notes, not coins? Interesting. You make enough to have bank notes? Like I said, that wasn't me. I was curious why this man with the dirty clothes had so much money. Well, look at the name on the papers. Is it Hugh Boone? And what name was written? Mr. Gossip? No, there's a man, he lies. He tells you that he is a no-name. But in fact, his name is Hugh Boone, huh? He's no better than Mr. Gossip, I think, sir. No! A pile of tidbits of information. Like I said, on Fresno Street, and that's that. I don't much like folk talking about my personal life.
Indeed. And it is not the intention of the court to invade the privacy of witnesses.
Objection.
Very well. I shall respect your wishes, sir. The aforementioned name shall be redacted from all court records of this trial, assuming no objections.
Objection! I'm sorry, my lord, but the defense does object. Because the name just mentioned has a very deep significance to the case, because that's where the fucking... Here. Wait, no. Shit, where is it? Because that's the person who rented the apartment.
Good gracious. Do you similarly object, Prosecutor Sogi?
As it happens, my lord, that particular name has already been mentioned during today's proceedings.
Well, I never. In what capacity?
Hugh Boone. The name of the leaseholder of the room. Let me put this very simply. The victim's body was discovered in your rented room. I suggest, sir, that you start talking. Well, all right. I suppose that might be the case. So your real name is Hugh Boone? That's a lie. Your real name is Daily Vigil, you son of a bitch. I know it. No, just between us. I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but there's no fine pile of tidbits in town. So I happen to be able to afford a grubby little room in a falling down backstreet townhouse. That just so happens to be where the crime took place. Huh.
You do?
And once every 6 months, I go and pay the rent to the agent on Lime Street. I remember now. There were 2 vulgar redheads in there last time. Eh? If either of us is a vulgar, it's not the me. Think again, Peppino. Why didn't you bring this up before? It's like I told you already. I don't like talking about my personal life. I'm a tidbit peddler as far as everyone else is concerned. No fuss. So why did you kick the door down instead of unlocking it, if, you know, among other things?
You update your testimony to include this most surprising revelation, Mr. Boone.
Well, this has certainly been a big boon, hasn't it? If I must. So the leaseholder Scully Nerd has been looking for since the body was discovered. Has been here under our noses all along. there's a lot of difference. Hold it. So, you live in that room presumably, do you? No, I don't live there. What do you think? There's no bed, is there? Just a desk. And a notice board. Then, why would you want to rent it? Well, I don't think I should really, I have to say, really. Then how about the notice board in there? Which is covered from head top to bottom and confidential documents only the police should have access to. Ah, no, that boat's not mine. The inspector must have brought it along. It's only the other bits and bobs that belong to me. The desk and the chair and that. Oh? Can you add that to your testimony? People don't generally carry enormous notice boards around with them. The real question is, why was Inspector Gregson killed there, in your room? Dots. Oh, obviously. I've not the faintest idea. I mean, it's causing me no end of bother, to be honest. It seems to me that Mr. Boone would rather as little as known about his room as possible for some reason. Yes, it does come across that way. And more importantly, knowing that the scene of the crime is actually his room completely changes things. In particular, there's one part of his testimony that's really bothering me now. That's how I'm finally going to undo this man. Let's go. This one. I'm gonna press on this. I'm gonna press on this and I'm gonna show your wife's face. You bastard.
Hold it!
You mean you have no family? No, none at all. So I spend my days on Fresno Street peddling tidbits to passerbys. Hoping, just between us this is, that eventually someone else with lips like mine will come along. I don't think so. You may be right. Anyway, that mark on your neck is just too much of a coincidence for us to ignore. Well, what's a fella to do then, eh? If you don't believe me, we're at an impasse. And there's nothing I can do but flick me lip. It looks like I'm not going to get anywhere here unless I can produce some proof. You're basically saying I got dressed up and posed as some fancy inspector, aren't you? Well, it's beyond me how you think I could do that. Wait, oh, no. That's the extent of your testimony, is it? What's your feeling, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, what Mr. Boone says is undeniable. It would be all but impossible to hide those lips with any form of disguise. But he can't hide his wife, can he? Perhaps yes, but nevertheless, the mark around his neck is equally undeniable, and it's identical to the one that Mr. DeRossi suffered. Yes, that's true. Why does this whole disguise idea just keep playing on my mind? Bitch! Objection! If you have no kinfolk, as you put it, then explain why it is that among the sparse furnishings, we found this photograph in the room. I presume, as you've been renting the room, that this photograph belongs to you, does it not? Oh, well. Mr. Boone, drop the pretense, and tell the court exactly who you really are. Fucking daily vigil motherfucker, I knew it. I don't know what you mean. I'm a peddler. I keep telling you so. You really don't need to bother with me. Please, just leave it alone. As the man says, leave it alone. Whatever the truth is about this man's life, it has no bearing on his case. Yes, it fucking does. Because it's simply not possible that he impersonated Inspector Gregson. Yes, it is, because those lips are fucking fake.
Objection!
How can you be so sure? Just look at the man. No amount of disguise could ever hide those unmissable features.
Objection!
Those features are a lie, Kazuma. You're looking at those lips in the wrong way. But what if we were to look at this the other way around? What do you mean?
Yes, counsel. What do you mean?
Well, there's no denying that Mr. Boone's lip is very prominent indeed. But consider the possibility that his prominent lip is in itself part of an elaborate disguise. and hiding that prominent feature, in other words, revealing his true face, would make an utterly impenetrable disguise. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Hugh Boone? You're looking at his lips the wrong way. Exactly.
Good witness. Are you still hiding the truth from the squad?
Those are rubber lips, ain't they? Pucker up. Those unmistakable, maybe, luscious lips. Yeah, pucker up, Boone. I'm about to unravel everything. If that's a disguise, then underneath it, his true identity must be Daily Vigil. Yes, that's right. There's really only one person he could really be. My lord, the defense believes it can reveal Mr. Boone's true identity to the court.
No.
Please, no.
Very well then, counsel. What is the true identity of this pellet, who goes simply by the name of Gossip on the streets?
Oh, praise Lord for our Daily Vigil.
Take that!
Your real name is actually Mr. Vigil, isn't it? Mr. Daily Vigil.
I don't recall that name, counsel. Who is this Mr. Vigil?
It's a name I encountered yesterday, my lord. He is someone that's supposed to be missing. It has to do with a certain client of Mr. Herlock Sholmes. A young gentlewoman came to the detective, asking him to locate her missing husband. The woman in this photograph, in fact, this is Mrs. Vigil. And it just so happens that her husband disappeared the very same day, or I guess night, that, you know, that these two red-headed morons kidnapped and imprisoned a person. What? From what I... Oh my god. Kazusume, no, stop falling down. From what I understand, they haven't returned home since the night before the inspector was found dead. But of course, on that night, you were being held captive by the two red-headed League men. And last night, you were put up by the prosecution service in preparation for testifying in this trial. Because we'd been led to believe that you, Miss Venus, and Mr. Sanders are all homeless. Being important witnesses in this case, we needed to know where we could find you, of course. Kazusume has had enough of these witness shenanigans. He wants to get in there. He's like, these idiots. And that explains why you've not only been unable to return home, but also unable to contact your wife, who's been beside herself with worry, waiting for you at the Vigil residence. Now, just hold on a minute. I don't have the first idea what I'm talking about, really. It's a simple enough matter to confirm my suspicions. Remove those lips! Come here! I'm taking those lips. Pucker up. All we have to do is pull off that disguise.
No. Please. Bailiff! Bring soap, a sponge, and a washbowl at once. Mr. De Russo and Mr. De Rossi, you will restrain the witness.
Let's go.
Oui, my lord. See, my lord.
Oh god.
Ah! No! Stop! Get off! Don't!
I knew it was dirt covering your hair. Look at you. I knew it. Dots. Well, he cleans up nice. Look at that.
Well, we are now seeing your true features, I presume.
You got... Oh, damn. You got your jacket and everything, too? How did you get your escort, like, back? Like, you went... Did you just bring, like, an extra pair of clothes?
Case, thank you so much for the stretch.
Ooh. Really appreciate it. Oh, gosh. Excuse me. Thank you. Show me your true form, literally. Instead of removing his mask, we were just, like, pulling off his lips. Lift your head, sir, so the court can see your face. Dots.
It would appear that the defense counsel's assertion was entirely correct. this has all been a very elaborate deception. So witnesses, tell the court, have you seen this man before?
I don't believe it, but... See, there's a no question. This is the inspector we saw in the park.
Extraordinary.
Man, wow, you had pants and everything too? Were you hiding them, like, under your overalls or what? Damn. On the day of the Red-Headed League enrollment, the man claiming to be Inspector Gregson who appeared before Mr. DeRusso and Mr. DeRossi in the park was you, disguised as an inspector. Or rather, was you posing as the inspector in no disguise at all. Mr. Vigil was firmly employed as a chief warder at Barclay Prison.
A chief warder? Then your career had promise. Why? Would you quite possibly have become the future governor of the prison?
But if I master a disguise, second only to Furrier Tiger. Exactly.
What on earth have you been doing peddling? Tittle-tattle on Fresno Street.
Well, it's been 10 years since Mr. Vigil worked at the prison. 10 years? Dots. I'm really dreadfully sorry about all of this. Yes, it's true. Oh, you have your wedding ring too. I am Daily Vigil. And you were the chief warder at Barclay Prison 10 years ago. Dots. So he probably talked to your dad, right? So where did Mr. Hugh Boone come from? Boone is the other me. It's a name I invented.
Well, evidently, there's a great deal under the surface here.
I'll explain everything. I'll tell you just how wretched my life has become. Neskirk Cybot. Yeah, not gonna lie, I saw like Cybot and I was like, wait, yeah. Cybot is also like the reverse of Tobias. I just remember, like, it just made me think of Mortal Kombat, like Noob Cybot, like Tobias Boone. But anyways. As you say, it was 10 years ago now that my employment at Barclay's chief warder came to an end. Having left the prison service, I searched for some new occupation by which to earn a wage. But times were hard in London, and I found no suitable engagement at all. In desperation one day, I turned my hand at selling wares on Fresno Street. But your wife appears to know nothing of this. How are you? So you earn enough from gossip to provide for your wife? Or is like Gregson paying you? She still maintains that you are the chief warder at Barclay Prison. I was utterly determined that my wife should not know of my failings, which is why I've never told her. I opened an account at the bank under the name of Hugh Boone, and I rented the cheapest room I could find on Fresno Street. The scene of the very crime we were investigating. Yes, that's right. A place from which I could emerge every morning at 8 as a squalid peddler, and transform myself back every evening at 5 into a well-dressed man about town before returning home. That quickly became my daily routine. I was puzzled by the lack of furniture in the room. But that explains it. It was just your base of operations. But why on earth didn't you just tell us this in the first place? I have a wife, sir, and 2 sons. And without wishing to sound self-conceited, they regard me with some pride. I couldn't bring myself to disappoint them. So instead, you decided to conceal your occupation from them. Yes. I've made such a terrible mess of everything. Still, one thing doesn't add up. The notice board. Why was Gregson there? Why was Von Zieks there? No matter how many tidbits of information you could sell by passing gentlemen, even at 6 pence apiece, you couldn't hope to match the salary you must have commanded as chief warder at the prison.
Very true. You have kept your family in comfort, despite 10 years of somewhat misbegotten employment.
Dots. I knew it, you were working with him. That was all thanks to Inspector Gregson. What? Inspector Gregson? What on earth? It was some years after I invented Boone and began my other life as a street seller. The inspector, that is, recognized me one day.
Do you mean to say the victim was an acquaintance of yours?
I knew him from my time working at the prison. There he is. When he saw what I'd become, he was deeply troubled for me and my family. And from that day forward, he visited me on Fresno Street with increasing regularity. Such a nice guy, Gregson. Then one day, he asked me if I would carry out a secret assignment for him. A secret? What is it? I was to impersonate the inspector. What? Impersonate him? We always met in that little room so the inspector could brief me. Visit Orgzies tomorrow and take a statement from the proprietress. It was always something along those lines. Surveillance work, interviewing people. So that's... Wait, so is that why he could always be like in 2 places or like many places at once or something? Like he could cover more ground, right? And there's occasions he would lend me his identification so people would believe who I was. My instructions were to make an impression, to let people know that Inspector Gregson had been at work. And for those services, he compensated me financially.
The Scotland Yard inspector willingly relinquished his identification into your care with intent to deceive. That, as I'm sure I need not point out, is a very serious criminal offense.
But why? What's the point of you impersonating him? I truthfully do not know. All I can say is that the inspector warned me on numerous occasions. Now remember, Vigil, I need your solemn word. You don't blab about this to anyone, alright? Ever. Even if, well, if I end up a croaker. A little too late for that. In time, he started to bring papers with him to the room as well. It became something of a second office for him. So, in fact, the person who declared himself to be Inspector Gregson at the park on Lime Street was really... Yes, it was me, acting on the inspector's orders. As usual, I removed my Boone disguise, and then went as instructed to the park, armed with the inspector's identification book. It never occurred to me. The bruise on my neck might give me away. Dots. So like Kazuma's like initial thing of like, oh, that was like the Reaper's hideout, and that he killed the Von Zieks killed Gregson to hide the Reaper. That was Gregson's office. So you know how to turn tables. Well, it would seem this confession completely destroys the defense's case. No, it doesn't. Fuck you.
Explain yourself, Prosecutor Asogi.
My learned friend's assertion was as follows. The victim was killed at another location on the day before his corpse was discovered. At the hands of these two red-headed leaguemen when they imprisoned the inspector. Oh, little... Oh my god, his little, like, slam. But no, that can't be. After all, it wasn't the inspector who went to the park that day. It was me. Oh goodness. Finally, we have clarity. We had nothing to do with the murder of the inspector. And merci, Mr. Le Defense, for proving it. What? But the assertion by the prosecution's assertion that, you know, Von Zieks killed Gregson because he was coming onto his identity as a Reaper is wrong as well. There's no motive.
Order! Indeed, it would appear that we have reached a de facto conclusion of sorts. These witnesses had no involvement in the murder of the victim. As proven somewhat ironically by the defense.
Yeah.
I hereby call an end to the cross-examination.
Hold it!
Oh? Kazuma? What are you trying to do, Kazuma? Pardon me, my lord. But with your permission, I would like to pose one further question to the witness. Kazuma.
What question, counsel?
It concerns the events of 10 years ago. I believe you would have been present at a very significant execution that was carried out at the time. 10 years ago. The execution of the professor, Kenshin Asogi. I want to know exactly what your involvement was. Oh! Answer me, man!
One moment, counsel. Is this related to the current case?
Dots. Natural. It is? Because it follows the Reaper? It follows like the rumors of the Reaper? It is the prosecution's belief that this case and the events of 10 years ago are inextricably linked.
Does the defense concur, counsel?
Kazuma, you're not yourself. You're not as calm as collected as usual. Or Kazuma-sama. No wonder he's acting this way. Mr. Vigil's memories of what happened 10 years ago would tell the tale of Genjin Asogi's last moments. His own father. I know. I do understand that. But even so... Kazu. Prosecutor Asogi. Do you genuinely believe that this question requires an answer in order to learn the truth behind Inspector Gregson's death? I need you to trust me. Please. Very well. The defense has no objection.
I see. In that case, you will answer the question, witness.
Dots. The truth is, I remember very little of that time. You've forgotten! I'm sorry to say, yes. As I said, I resigned from my role at the prison 10 years ago. But for some peculiar reason, my memory of the events leading up to that moment is extremely hazy. Does it not strike you as strange, Mr. Naruhodo? It does indeed. Sorry. Well, 10 years is a long time. But to have forgotten the reason why he left such an important job. Yes, you're right. We have it. We have it right here. Sorry. We have it right here. For baiting this, you know, for trying to get him to escape. And not only that, Mr. Vigil's claim contradicts what we already know. Human spirit is a fragile thing. It's broken all too easily, which is why we have a tendency to wrap it up for protection. Sorry, the human spirit. I'm afraid I don't understand what you mean. When we experience pain and suffering that we feel unable to bear, we block it out, obliterate it from our memories, seal it away. But it never truly leaves us. If the seal is broken, the memories resurface. And when they do, the fragile spirit may finally be crushed. He's speaking from experience because he somehow managed to beat amnesia. But I really don't. Kazuma-sama. But if it must be crushed, then so be it. Because the truth will not stay buried. It's coming out, one way or another. Thoughts? Right. Now I understand. It's clear what his intentions are. He means to expose the truth at any cost. Dots. Perhaps if I pointed out the contradiction in what Mr. Vigil claimed earlier, it might cause some crucial memories to return to him. But should I? Should I present the evidence or not? Do it! I have no idea how this is going to go, but this is a court of law, and I have a duty to pursue the truth. Mr. Vigil, I'd like you to look at this. Evidence that clearly contradicts your version of events. Take that! Just a few moments ago, you made the following statement. I resigned from my role at the prison 10 years ago. You did not resign. You were fired. Well, yes. In other words, you claim to have left the post of chief warder of your own volition. Well, yes, of course. Why? Tell me. Do you remember seeing this document before? No, I don't. This is a dismissal notice, ordering the immediate termination of a prison staff member's employment. The dismissal notice. And the name on the notice is yours, Mr. Vigil. What? It's mine! So you didn't resign from the prison service at all. For some reason, you were dismissed as chief warder from Barclay. No, there's been some mistake. I'm sure. I'm sure I tendered my resignation. This dismissal notice is nonsense. No, it's not. We got it straight from what's his name? From Barricaden. Isn't it? If you were forcibly dismissed, there must have been a good reason. Clearly, you did something. Mr. Vigil, it's time to break the seal and have you remember. Dots. According to the few remaining records, the final execution that you supervised was on June 17th June, 10 years ago. On that day, something very serious took place at Barclay Prison. The 17th of June. Was that a prison break? The professor's execution? Professor. As you were the chief warder at the time, it stands to reason that you would have been present throughout the proceedings. It does sound familiar. And yet, that execution never took place. The convict, ostensibly executed earlier that day, later re-emerged from his grave. The convict came back to life. In the cemetery, in the middle of the night, there was a witness. However, the witness claims that a moment after he saw the convict clambering out of his grave, He was shot. A gunshot rang out from over his shoulder, and a bullet pierced the professor's chest, killing him instantly. Those may have been the professor's actual last moments. Base, thank you so much for the stretch. Oh gosh. Ooh. That was a whoa. Cracked my spine there. Ooh. And thank you so much for the water ASMR. Everyone, let's grab our little water jugs and do a little glug glug. Yes. Yes. Seeing as you were in charge of overseeing executions at the time, you must know the truth about what really happened. It's in your head. Simmer deep down. Well, Chief ordered daily vigil. I know there are memories in your head that can explain what happened on 17th June, 10 years ago. And now it's time for you to drag them up. Mr. Vigil. Dots. Dots. Yes. The whole prison. It was complete chaos. The prison has escaped. The prisoner escaped. He was killed in a cemetery. The shocking news ripped through Barclay like a hurricane. What? Order! 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 Do you mean to say, Mr. Vigil, that your memories of the time have returned? My head, it's like some floodgates have been opened. The images, screams. Oh my goodness. The papers. There were reports, articles about a man who'd seen a ghost. Yes, Enoch Drebber. It's him.
But surely those reports were exaggerated.
Dots. There were traces at the scene. Traces of what? In Lowgate Cemetery, at plot number 139. Blood. Lots of blood. That's where the man was buried, of course. Obviously, something terrible had happened there.
The depths of conspiracy and depravity from which this tale is emerging are quite staggering.
I've reviewed the police records from that time extensively. A thorough investigation was conducted by Scotland Yard to ascertain how the convict managed to escape in the first place. And the conclusion reached by the investigating team was that a member of the prison staff must have been involved.
Are you suggesting that a prison warder abetted the man's bid for freedom?
Yes. Yes, and I was suspected of doing it. Of using that mass murderer's execution as a way to help him escape.
You did what?
I remember now. The horror of it all is coming back to me. One evening, a few days after the execution, some detectives came to the prison. I was called to the governor's office at the top of the watchtower.
I'm sorry, darling. This is serious business. But can I help you now? As chief warder, you were responsible overseeing the execution of four, eh?
I will not attempt a Scottish accent. I don't know how to do that.
Well, it seems the fellas at Scotland Yard want to have a few wee words with you about it. You better pack your things, laddie. It's to attend in person.
As soon as he told me that, my mind just went completely blank. And the next thing I knew, You were fired. The professor, the most hated killer in our country's history. And I let him escape. I'm finished. My life. It's over. We psycho locked him basically. We basically psycho locked him without using a Magatama. Damn.
Order! Order! Bailey! Fetch a doctor at once! Court is adjourned for today with immediate effect.
Oh, are we going to go into investigation mode now? Let's go!
So, with Mr. Vigil's collapse, proceedings came to an abrupt end for the day. Once again overshadowed by the legacy of that notorious killer, appearing like a cursed ghost ship.
Broke his black
foggy
Cyclops.
ocean.
We literally broke his black Cyclops without using a Magatama. Holy shit. That's amazing. Cause that's basically what cause it's the trauma. We basically did that. Damn. God damn, that's awesome.
Lord Van Zeeks,
Von
Mr. Vigil,
Zeeks. Not Van,
Kazuma.
Von.
and Gregson. All of them bound by invisible chains anchored to the same wreckage in the murky depths of the past. But the miraculous light that had been trying to cut through
It's a
the
VA's
gloom
accent. No, I
and shine
know,
on those
I know.
tragic events.
I think it's definitely the voice direction because like I know that when they released the they did what was it? They had the English anime voice actors for Phoenix and Miles. They're like it was a stream or something, and they said oh, Baroque Van Zeeks, and I'm just like it's Vaughn. It's proper. The proper is Vaughn. It's Vaughn. It's Vaughn. It's Von Zeeks. Anyways, that is just me being pedantic. Anyways, plot twist. He tried to jump off the window, but wimpy as it is, he managed to unceremoniously bounce back off the window. It's like, I was like, good morning, we're here today for our daily vigil, and he comes flying through the window.
Was playing on the edges of the truth at last.
We're edging towards the truth. I mean, what? We're chained up and edging towards the truth. Oh god, I can never recover. To be continued. Oh my god. Yo. Let's save. Dun, 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 dun. Investigation part 2. Okay. Damn. Okay. I do want to call it here though. Like I do want to call it here. I feel like it's a good place to stop off. Because it's also quite late for me. I should get some rest. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so I want to try to do as much as I can of this, but I also want to do like the Genshin event, right? Because I know there's some story there. I think tomorrow I'm gonna do the Genshin event, like just go through like maybe like take 3 hours to like go through that, and then the following day I'm gonna go through the investigation for the Great Ace Attorney. Yeah, because I think I'll mention it now. I am going on a short trip on Saturday until next Saturday, so I'll be able to start streaming like the following Saturday. After like I think like my last stream might be for this week will be Friday, and then I'll stream like the following Saturday again. So yeah, just to play within the thing because I don't want to let the event end. So I'll do Genshin tomorrow, and then I'll follow up with like the second investigation part on Thursday. Yeah, that's the plan for now. So yeah, thank you so much for stopping by, everyone. All my good old patrollers. If you have the rest of the day going for you, please have a very, very, very wonderful rest of your day. If you need to rest and decompress and go to bed like I do, then so yes, me to you. Good night, good night, good night. So yeah, I think we should do a raid. So let me pull up all my raid messages and stuff. So please copy whichever raid message you can. Raid subs for subscribers, raid message and raid alt are for the regular patrollers. And let me see. I almost want to like rate another person as doing like the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, but doesn't seem like anyone is. So let's just rate Sam again. Yeah. So for those that don't know, Samsastic, Sam is a variety VTuber. She's currently playing some Overwatch right now. So I feel like, we just finished off some high octane action. Let's go into some high octane action. So yeah, Sam is really chill. She's really cool. She has love for Suikoden and JRPGs like I do. She really likes farming sims. We are both equally excited for Rune Factory Azuma? Guardians of Azuma? Yeah. I might play it on a stream. We shall see. We shall see what happens with that. So yeah, let's go on and give her a good old so much for greeting and help give us some support with Overwatch. Yeah. So let's go on over and do that. So yeah, tomorrow Genshin, following day Ace Attorney, Friday probably more Ace Attorney, or as much as I can do it. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me tonight. So let's Toya, and as always, this has been Toya, and I'll see ya.